Hello everybody. Welcome to U.S. History 1, Segment 13, Sectional Politics and the Compromise of 1850. This segment focuses on the idea of sectionalism. Sectionalism refers to the divide that was in place in the United States, really from the very beginning, but it focuses mostly on the 1800s. Between 1800 and 1860, that 60-year stretch, what we see is a widening gap between the different regions of the United States. The North and its industrialization, small farms and other kinds of industry. The South with its large-scale plantation agriculture, poor white populations that live on subsistence farming, and of course the West, which is developing but really not a large part of our sectionalist story leading to the Civil War. But the importance of the West can't be understated either, because as the United States pushed westward, new states would be added to the United States, and it became very important whether or not they would be free states or whether they would be slave states. The balance, especially in the Senate, would come to be a huge issue and one of the driving factors of the eventuality of the Civil War. What you'll find as you work through the segment this week, as you do your readings and move through the module, is that these different parts of the United States were essentially different societies, or even if you want to think about it in modern terminology, almost different countries. People there had very different lives, they didn't know that much about each other, and overall, they didn't think that much about each other either. Yet they were inexorably linked, and the economies of the regions were even more importantly linked, as southern cotton producers and other cash crop producers were reliant upon the processing of the northern society's factories to turn their products into valuable commodities. So it's an interesting story and a very tragic one, of course, because it ends with the Civil War. And for a long time, the United States tried to compromise. Now, when we were kids, they teach us that compromise is a good thing. But when regard to the issue of slavery, of course, it's a terrible tragedy. The United States compromised for so long, culminating with things like the Compromise of 1850, allowing for the continual spread of slavery, that it just made the difficult ending of slavery that much more tragic as well. So on the issue of human rights, of course, the issue of slavery will become one of the darkest spots on America's history. But in the end, it will lead to the eventual Civil War and, of course, the dramatic change that will come in the era afterwards. So think about those issues as you move through this topic. And, of course, I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say on this in your discussions and in your papers. Okay, talk to you soon. Dr. Lee, sir.